I've eaten between 500 grams and 1,500 grams of carbohydrate every day for 4 years. So that's right. For the last 4 years, up until this date, I've eaten at least 500 grams of calories, 500 grams of carbohydrate a day. And the most that I remember ever eating was about 1.5 kilos of carbohydrate. So on this channel, I help people to lose weight and regain their health. And this is through the foods that I recommend, as well as cycling. So also part of this, the cycling, yes, cycling is amazing for weight loss, but it also has so many amazing benefits, amazing benefits. And that's a video all in itself, but that's not what this video is about. This video is about, so yeah, you'll pick up the foods that I recommend if you like and subscribe, and check out the other videos where I show specifically the foods that I'm recommending and that I'm eating myself. So I know that the foods that I recommend work for sustainable weight loss. So I provide a lifestyle for weight loss. Sorry for the noise. I provide a lifestyle for weight loss. And part of that is, yes, it's essentially two main parts. And I recommend the food being the most important part, because even if you don't like exercise and you're watching this video, you don't need to exercise to lose weight and always be trim and lean like I am. I just get the one of the positive benefits of cycling is, yeah, it's amazing for weight loss. But on the foods that I recommend, you don't need to exercise. But again, there's so many physical, mental, and monetary and so many benefits to cycling. But this video is aimed at showing that there is still a lag. There's still a lag in the information that you're getting with carbohydrate and the amount of carbohydrate you're getting. So yes, up to 1.5 kilos. And this is because if you want to perform, not just in life, so you're performing better in life, you'll reach your life potential if you're eating carbohydrate, lots and lots of carbohydrates, and keep your fat and protein intake low if you want to be trim and lean and reach your physical performance and mental performance. And yes, people always look at me as though I'm an alien when I'm saying lots of sugars and carbohydrates and not much fat and much protein. And I've got other videos talk about why this is. And essentially, there's the mainstream, and if you don't just regurgitate the mainstream from what everyone else is saying, you're an alien or conspiracy theorist or whatever you want to call it. And yeah, on this channel I don't promote the mainstream, because the mainstream doesn't work. And I know this because everyone, or essentially 99% of most people, so if you're in fitness, most people are either overweight or they're starving themselves. There's no middle ground. And that's what you're told in fitness and health, is just eat lots of fat and protein. And then because that makes you fat, you're told to count calories in, calories out, the psycho starvation diet, and dieting. Whereas the foods that I recommend, unlimited carbohydrate, but then keep fat and protein intake low. So yes, if you want to perform your best, you need to eat unlimited carbohydrates. So for example, today, depending on the weather, but I'm hoping to get a nice ride here in September of 2025. And already with me today, I've got 2 water bottles here with me. And within these water bottles, I'm using table sugar. So these are about 950 milliliter bottles. And I filled each with 150 grams of white table sugar. So that's already 300 grams. That's already 300 grams of carbohydrates. And I've also so I'm planning to do as much as I can. So a nice 5-hour ride, hopefully, if the weather stays nice. It's quite warm, but there might be rain. So I don't really want to get soaking. So I've got some gummy sweets. in my left pocket on my shorts and my right pocket on my shorts. So here is another right here. So this is a 200-gram bag, but I've already had a little bit. So if I had this bag as well, that would be about 160 grams, another 160 grams. So that's 460 grams already. And then if I was to have this bag, that would be about another 100 grams. So that would be about 560 grams or so already of carbohydrate. But I recommend at least 100 grams of sugar or carbohydrates while you're exercising. So that doesn't matter how easy the exercise is. So I always recommend cycling because it's the best way to move your body, to lose weight and sustainably get fit. Because for example, with running, you get injured so much that I don't think it's worth running. Whereas with cycling, you have to literally do so much that to get the overuse injury, for me, that might take maybe doing 120 or 150 hours or more in 1 month. And the most I've ever done really in a month is about 110 hours or so, maybe 110 hours of riding in 1 month. And yeah, to me, that's about my limit for sustainably being able to be motivated to do that. And also, as I say, you'd have to be doing that a lot to develop these overuse injuries like pains in the knee. So that would be, for me, what I would get would be a pain in the knee, for example. And that's over 500. So if I'm going to do 5 hours today, fairly easy. So just enjoying riding, and because I'm enjoying it, I'm going to be able to keep doing it. So not going out and thrashing myself, doing these, I think, what are unsustainable high interval sessions, doing that every day. That's not sustainable. It's not enjoyable, to be honest. A little bit of that is okay, but mostly just going out riding. Yeah, I use a power meter. So yeah, I have a target in mind that I know from years of experience that I'm going to ride to. And most of your exercise, if you want to be healthy, most of it should just be not easy. So not just like you're almost sitting down, like you're just sitting on the bike and hardly turning the pedals. It should be so that if you imagine you have a favorite song, and maybe you're listening to it in your earphones, and if you're ever riding and listening to music, I recommend always having a bike mirror, because that way you sort of lose your sense of hearing and your ability to know what's going on. Whereas with the mirror, that gives you back a sense, so you can see what's coming behind you, and therefore you don't necessarily need to hear it, you can see what's coming. If you imagine you are listening to maybe one of your favorite playlists, and if you can sing most of the words out loud as though you maybe were talking to someone, so I recommend, if you're riding by yourself, if you can sing sort of most of the words without losing breath, then you're riding about hard enough. Okay, so if you put your favorite playlist on, if you can sing some of the words of the sentence between breathing, then that's at about the right tempo, the right pace. So that's what most of your riding should be if you want to sustainably lose weight and be healthy. But if you're going out and thrashing yourself every time and you're hating it, really, you do get a nice sort of positive glow in your body after you've done hard efforts. But if you're doing it every day, it's not sustainable and it's not the right way to go. So at least 100 grams of sugar an hour. Okay, yeah, it's not going to make you fat. Okay, the reason why you're fat isn't because you're on a high sugar diet, it's because you're on a high fat, high protein diet. And then, so if I'm having already 500 grams of carbohydrate just from doing 5 hours of riding, then with my breakfast and also my recovery, this is going to take me to 600, 700, 800. Maybe today that'll take me over 850, just off the top of my head, from just experience of living this lifestyle. that probably means that I'm probably going to eat maybe another 400 grams or so of carbohydrates today, and that'll be through the foods that I recommend that are always high sugar, low fat, low protein, subsequently vegan for me. So because I'm vegan, I then also share that message, because I think that's actually the most important message of anything, is veganism. So yeah, get a buy, go high sugar, low fat, low protein. Your performance will increase in life as well. So yeah, as I said beginning of the video, there's still a lag. You know, this idea that, you know, sports nutritionists or social media, sugar intake, the recommended amount of sugar intake being, you know, prescribed, as I call it, is going up. And yeah, I've seen that. But you know, I've been living this lifestyle now for 4 years, essentially unlimited carbohydrates to feel satiated. So if I'm still feeling like I want more food, and naturally the food that I'm eating, I can eat as much of, and my fat intake is still going to be low. So I'm not going to ever eat more than 20 grams of fat a day, eating unlimited amounts of carbohydrate or foods high in carbohydrate. So what you need to know is food is not food, okay? Food is not food. That's one of the terms I use. So if you're eating foods that are high in carbohydrates and you say, well, that's making me fat, like the donut. And donut is the classic example I always hear, the donut. The donut is high in fat and it's got sugar sprinkled on it. But what you want is high carbohydrate so you want your healthy carbohydrates, and with your healthy carbohydrates you get your adequate healthy amounts of fat and protein. So I hope you enjoy the video. And yeah, if you ever see, it always makes me laugh, because even when I see maybe people who are doing the social media thing with their knowledge, and maybe they're a young person who's gone to get a sports nutrition degree, it makes me laugh when they say, oh, and I had maybe 400 or maybe at least 500 grams of sugar today. Wow, isn't that a lot? Wow. That's not a lot, okay? That's the minimum you should be having day to day, okay? That I would recommend is at least half a kilo, and that's to make you always feel satiated. And if you eat the foods that I recommend on this channel, to get that amount of carbohydrate, you don't need to eat then hundreds of grams of fat and protein if you're eating the foods that are fit for human beings, okay? So the foods that are fit for human beings allow human beings to get fit. Just let that sink in, okay? The foods that are fit for human beings allow human beings to get fit, okay? So if you want to be lean, eat lean. And if you want to look like a cow, eat cow. So I don't recommend eating cows or any other animals, because that's animal abuse. And, well, animal abuse isn't nice, is it? It's not good. So killing things is not good. So yeah, like and subscribe, and you'll be able to find out more of this lifestyle that I'm trying to spread. So the vegan, high sugar, low fat, low protein, freedom lifestyle, high sugar freedom lifestyle, to lose weight, regain your health, and enjoy life more, okay? So stop always thinking, oh, should I do this or should I do that? You know, oh, is too much carbohydrate too much? We're carbohydrate eaters, okay? And yeah, fat and protein is going to ruin your fitness and health. As you can see, this lean 6.8 kilo road bike is lean like I am. And the amazing thing about sugar, or sugar water, sugar's fat-free. Yeah, sugar's fat-free. So if you want to go on these diets, okay, sugar literally is diet food, okay? It's fat-free. And the fat you eat is the fat you wear, and the fat you eat is making you look like the Michelin man and Michelin woman. So yeah, eat unlimited carbohydrates, improve your performance, If you don't believe me, try it yourself. Get a power meter, get a bike, and see how well you recover, how well you reach your goals, your fitness goals, how well the fat, the excess fat comes off your body. And you'll just feel always like how you should, okay, full of energy. I know I haven't bonked. I haven't bonked, okay, that's when you become hypoglycemic. I haven't had the bonk, so when you feel like the world's coming to an end in your body, so you feel like all wobbly and you can't stand up and you can't turn the pedals and you can't really do anything. That's hypoglycemia, when you don't have enough sugar. Blood sugar drops and you've depleted your glycogen stores and your skeletal muscles. Then you'll realize that yes, there's so many benefits of always being carved up and low fatted down and low protein down. Okay. So yeah, hope you enjoyed the video. Like and subscribe and put any questions or comments in the comment section. And yes, if you want the information, I'm here. Most of the time it's just stupid comments like children. But yeah, I understand that most people know nothing, and I used to know nothing. Okay, so I was born into this world not vegan. I wasn't born vegan. I wasn't brought up vegan. But yeah, I've read the information and I've tested it myself, and that's the most important thing, is testing it and finding out is the information true. And I have years of experience and knowledge firsthand, and I think that's actually the most important thing, because at the moment in the 21st century, science no longer exists. Okay, so yeah, science no longer exists. You have to go back a long time, okay, before the pharmaceutical industry and the modern healthcare industry existed for money. So there you go. I also share how the world works partly as well in these videos. So yes, remember, sugar is your friend, not your foe. And yeah, I'm at the top of a hill, as you can see from the beautiful view. And I got up here easily because I'm lean and I'm carved up. So that's right, between 500 and 1.5 kilos at 5'11", and I'm always lean. I haven't been heavier than 68 kilos in the 4 years that I've been eating like this. I haven't been above 68 kilos, and that's with exercise, and that's without exercise. So even when I've had months off the bike, so recently, just in June, July, end of June, beginning of July, I was off for about 4 weeks, a month, off the bike, still eating the foods that I recommend, and I didn't get fat. And I was having, again, at least 500 grams of carbohydrate a day without exercise. Thank you for your time. Woo! Carved up.